Southern Miss loses 50-36 to Texas State, falling to 1-4 and 0-2 in Sun Belt play. Definitely not the start that anyone expected Southern Miss to be at right now. I think, Jackson, you had them at 4-1 coming into this game, after this game, and then I had them at 3-2. So we both expected winning records at this point, and now I guess the question in all Southern Miss fans remains: can this season be salvaged? Is it possible for them to make a bowl game? They would have to win, if I can do math correctly, 5 out of the next 7 games to make a bowl this season. Obviously, from what we saw tonight in the first half, that did not seem likely. But from what we saw in the second half, it seems a little bit more, at least, possible. Is it okay to say possible that they could win 5 out of the next 7? I think so. But it's going to be difficult. Jackson, do you think that the season is salvageable?
Bold prediction here. And I know this isn't a bold prediction video by any means, Dima. Southern Miss is going bowling this year. And I'm saying that because if the second half team can be the first half and the second half of a future game, if Southern Miss plays how the second half Southern Miss team played for the full game, they're going to beat Old Dominion by 30, 40 points. Because I don't know any team that can outpace that. The same Texas State team that did not put out their second string. Like, I was looking, and there were still, number 1, number 8. Those guys aren't normally second-string guys. If you've got, very low numbers. They were still on the field second, third, fourth quarter, even when Texas State was up 42-10. And it didn't matter. That defense could not stop this offense. If they can just find, like I mentioned it in our instant reactions video, and we're going to be talking about it a lot in our post-game podcast, which you can check out anywhere that you get your podcasts from. If the second half Southern Miss team can just play the first and second half, whatever that schism is, if they can find it, Southern Miss is going to win a ton of games, and they are going to go bowling. I mean, if you look at it, I don't know what the final score was, so if I'm just wildly wrong, you could tell me, but ULM was up 14-0 against App State in the second quarter.
Yeah.
That's crazy. ULM's coming to the Rock. I think Southern Miss is going to beat ULM. Southern Miss is going to the Rock, as App State fans like to call their stadium. If ULM can beat them, by the law of transitive property, Southern Miss can beat them. If Southern Miss plays like this, the only 2 teams that I can see them realistically losing to are Mississippi State and South Alabama.
App State beat ULM 41-40.
41-40. Okay. If Southern Miss's offense is better than ULM's offense, which one would assume, one would go out on a limb.
54-yarder as time expired.
54-yarder as time expired to win the game. Yeah. If App State had to do a Hail Mary to beat ULM, and Southern Miss can beat ULM, Southern Miss is going bowling, man. And, if that second half team comes out, then Southern Miss is. I don't know what that schism is, but if they figure it out by this weekend, by this upcoming weekend, then I think they will. Everybody on the sidelines, everybody in the post-game press is like, hey, we're about to turn it around. We are so close to figuring out what it is, or maybe they just figured out what it is during halftime, and they figured it out. If they can play a full game, Southern Miss is going bowling. Dima, Mixon, what do you think?
That's no context 4th Street.
No context.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really tough. I think it's gonna be really, really hard. So you got to win 5 out of the next 7, and 4 of those is on the road, which going on the road in the Sun Belt is not easy. And 3 of those road games are against teams who are really good. So at South Alabama, that's not an easy victory. That's going to be very difficult to win that game, especially what South Alabama has done to Southern Miss in all sports, not just football. At App State, they struggled with ULM, but still going to Boone, that is a very tall task for this team to win that game. And then at Louisiana, Southern Miss beat Louisiana last year. It's not incredibly crazy to think they could do it this year, but that's going to be a night game. It's a Thursday night on prime time. Louisiana went to Minnesota today, a Big Ten team, and competed very well. Only lost by, I think, 11 or something like that. Then you got to go on the road to play Mississippi State, an SEC team who I mean, by every metric, should beat Southern Miss, given an upset. And then a Troy team who went to Georgia State today and destroyed them at home. I mean, I think it's going to be a very tall task for Southern Miss to win, to get there. Now, do I think it's impossible? No, because like Jackson said, I think if the second half team plays, like they played tonight, then they could maybe get there. I would say no right now. I would say that if I had to put money down, if I had to make a bet, no, they don't make a bowl game. And I think that this season is more about development than it is trying to reach that bowl game mantra, which obviously they're trying to win. But I'm saying, if I had to put money down, I would say that this season is probably not going to get there. Just dropping both these past games, man, that really hurts, especially they haven't played the toughest part of their schedule yet. And they're 1-4. So that to me puts me at a lot of hesitation to putting them at a bowl game. And like Jackson said, it's very bold for him to claim that they would make a bowl game. So he's not saying that of course they would make it. He's making a bold projection. He knows that a lot of people would disagree with him. That's why it's called a bold prediction. So, if Zion were here, he would say, 3-9 or something, Southern Miss.
Hey guys, Zion Cochran here. My bold prediction is that Southern Miss make it 100 yards of offense in this next game. Oh, come on, buddy. Zion, we love you, but man, you gotta tighten up.
Yeah, this man texts us in the middle of the game and says Franco Jr. rushed for 100 yards, so his bold prediction came true. And I'm like, bro, we love you, Zion.
Oh, hey, the sun rose this morning. That's a bold prediction, guys.
Yeah, but anyways, I don't think. Right now, I would say no. I think that they don't get there. Now that can change, and I think that I think they beat Old Dominion next week on homecoming. So you go to that South Alabama game. You win that game, your whole season's turned around, right? So I think if you go to South Alabama and compete and win that game, your whole season's turned around. If you lose to South Alabama, I think you got a real tall task to go bowling. So I think it's going to ride a lot on that South Alabama game. So a lot more of this to come on our post-game podcast. Thanks for watching our videos. Always, to hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. You'll get to see these videos. You'll get to see interviews. You'll get to see a lot of other things as well, non-sports related. So, but that's Jackson Kennedy. I'm Dima Mixon, and thanks for watching.